What's up, everybody? I'm Mckenty. This is my second channel, and this is your home for my Twitch highlights and my podcast. So if you like this and you want to see more of that and you want to join the live streams, there's a link to that in the description of this video. And with that out of the way, let's start with a review of the brand new album Still Sucks by Limp Bizkit. For those of you who miss the old days, for those of you who want to feel like it's 2001 again, like you just got home from school and you and your best friend Cody are about to crack open a couple cans of Mountain Dew and play some Power Stone on Dreamcast, well then I have good news for you, because this album is for you. And I mean that in both a good way and a bad way. We're going to go through it track by track and I can give you kind of my thoughts, but the other part of this is sort of the meta commentary. What does it mean that everybody in the rock world is freaking out about this album, that Limp Bizkit is the talk of the town in 2021? What that means to me, this is another example of how rock is unfortunately stuck in the past. And that's not the fault of Limp Bizkit. They didn't do anything wrong. All they did is make an album, which, you know, they should make whatever album they want. But the fact that people are so obsessed and freaking out about Limp Bizkit in 2021, to me, kind of an example of what I've talked about as far as rock being stuck in the past. I'll talk about that later, but first, let's actually listen to the album. We can decide for ourselves if it's any good. Bit of a slow start. This sounds like the low energy version of a mirror. Darko, but like on benzos. This part sucks. It's time to rock this motherfucker, 'cause I'm always out of style. Never change my style, 'cause my style is kind of right. This isn't bad. It's definitely the best thing they've done in quite a while, but so far I'm like, eh. It's time to rock this motherfucker, 'cause I'm always out of style. Never change my style, 'cause my style is kind of like, this part here would have sounded really cool in 2001 because that was such a fresh new style. But now when I was joking, but now that we have bands like Amir and Darko and 1056 who do this kind of thing, but in a way that's so much more modern and interesting and dynamic, I don't know why I would choose to listen to this. All right, so I would give that song, I don't know, 6 out of 10. It doesn't suck, but it's not great. Nothing I would choose to listen to again. Let's check out song number 2, Dirty Rotten Biscuit. Dirty Rotten Biscuit. I will say that as sort of dated and corny as this song is, it is well done. I think Fred's singing parts sound better than they ever have. I've always thought that his clean singing voice was kind of weak and pitchy and just sounded bad. He's certainly not a great singer by any means, but I will say that he sounds better on this album doing clean vocals than he has any other time in their career, I think. Dad gym music. Dirty Rotten Biscuit. Again, you know, I would give that one maybe a 7 out of 10. I think that's a better song than Out of Style. Nothing incredible, but again, what could Limp Bizkit have done in 2021, right? I mean, they could do something that doesn't sound like Limp Bizkit and people would say it sucks because it doesn't sound like Limp Bizkit. They could try to do Amir or Darko, but I mean, that's just not really who they are. So I don't think they're going to like start tuning to G and like playing crazy shit like that and just go like turn into a deathcore band. They can't do that. So really all they could do, the best case scenario for Limp Bizkit, is to put out a Limp Bizkit album, right? And I think that's what they have done with this. The question is like, what does that mean in 2021? Like another Limp Bizkit album sounds like it's from 2002. To me, that doesn't mean much, but fans do seem to like it. This is the next song, Dad Vibes, which is the first one that they came out with. Check out your dad with the swag on the floor. Mama gon' brag when I walk in the door. Can't live with him, can't live without him. New kid back on the block with a rip. Yep, this is the classic lineup. Shout out to Zach Cervini, the producer. Great guy, incredible producer. I think he's a big part of the reason why it's as good as it is. I don't think this song is bad. Again, I would give this a 6 or 7 out of 10. It's not bad. And what I do like about this album in general is that it's very self-aware. They know who they are. They know that they're, you know, basically a washed up legacy band. And they're not trying to, you know, prove that they're anything other than that, which I think is smart. You know, what if they did try to be current, or what if they did try to, you know, go trap or something? You know, it would be embarrassing, right? Like, the only thing they can do is sort of acknowledge who they are. Fred Durst trying to act like he's 29 again would be cringe. He's a smart guy. I made a video about him. A lot of people think that Fred Durst is, you know, the ignorant clown that he sort of pretends to be in the band, and he's not. He's a smart guy. He knows exactly what he's doing. You may like him, you may not like him, you may not like his band, but he's a smart guy who knows what he's doing. And I think, to me, if there's anything that I come away with from this album, it's self-awareness. I mean, even just this song Dad Vibes, he knows that he's 52 years old and he's not trying to be anything other than that. I respect it. This next song, Turn It Up Bitch, in particular, I would say is the most, well, there's a couple songs in this album that I think are very self-aware, maybe to a fault. I feel like they may be acknowledging who they are and like breaking the fourth wall a little bit too much. We'll play the song and see what I mean. Sounds like House of Pain, which is not a good thing. House of Pain, which I guess makes sense because DJ Lethal is from House of Pain. House of Pain is some of the worst, whitest music of all time. And that is how I feel about this song. Not good. Really bad. This is horrible. Yeah, I mean, House of Pain was bad. That's somehow even worse. I would give that song, that's an F to me. That is an F. I'm sorry. Not good. Next song here is Don't Change. And there's a bunch of like boring slow songs, including this one, which is one of the reasons why, I mean, I made a video today about Results May Vary and like kind of why that album was not good. It's because there were too many boring slow songs. You know, when you listen to Limp Bizkit, you want the bangers, right? You want Nookie, you want break stuff. And the first 3 songs on the album, I would say they're not Nookie or they're not break stuff. They're kind of headed in that direction at least. They're heavy songs. I like it. There's way too many slow, boring songs in this album. For example, this one. Oh, this is an NXS cover. I didn't know that. It still sucks and it's still boring. It's not a bad song. I just don't think it's a good Limp Bizkit song. Don't change for you. Don't change a thing. I actually like this song. Like, it is a good song. I just don't think it's good for this album or this band. This is not something I would ever voluntarily listen to. I'd give that one an F as well. I know I'm kind of shifting between a numeric scale and alphabetical scale, but this is my stream. I'm gonna do what the fuck I want so we can get through this and start listening to some music that I like. Next song is You Bring Out the Worst in Me. It's a great point. I wouldn't want this on a comeback nu metal album. That's exactly right. Remember, that's what this is. This is a nu metal comeback album. Do we want boring acoustic songs on a nu metal comeback album? The answer is fuck no, we do not. Another boring slow song. Does this get better? Okay, here we are, 2.5 minutes into this song that I just skipped through because it's boring. Finally, there's a heavy part. This part's pretty cool. Not bad, but, you know, I gotta have more than a couple heavy parts in an otherwise boring song. So, you know, 4 out of 10. It's not a 0, it's a 4 out of 10. This song, this is called Love the Hate. This one is very much sort of acknowledging who they are, acknowledging that, you know, they were that band that everyone hated and kind of leaning into it, which on the one hand, I give them credit for. On the other hand, it's a little bit cringe. Let's listen to it. You can be the judge. Yeah, joke song. I don't like joke songs.
I fucking hate Limp Bizkit.
Me too.
That's good, I got something we can do.
Grate 'em?
Yeah, shred him like cheese.
Dope.
Fred Durst looks like he fell out his mom's face first.
Yeah, you're telling me he's got no swag. His rap sucked like a vacuum bag.
Damn.
For the most part, I think this song is way too long. Like, this would have been a cool, like, 10-second interlude, or maybe a little part in a song would have been clever. But to make a whole song out of this, I don't know. It's unnecessary to me. Yeah, I would give that a 2 out of 10. It's not a 0, because as far as like boring joke songs go, it could be worse, but overall I would say, yeah, 2 out of 10. Not good, not interesting. Should have been a 10-second interlude. Spoiler warning, this is another boring slow song.
You robbed my patience. I've lost my patience.
Musically, it sounds like some band that would be on like Run for Cover or whatever. It's like Title Fight with Fred Durst singing, which actually, now that I say it out loud, is kind of cool. Like, Title Fight should have Fred Durst singing.
You suck on everything. You fuck up everything.
It sounds exactly like Nirvana. Like, this is not a Nirvana cover, but it definitely sounds like it, right? But I prefer to think of it as Title Fight with Fred Durst singing.
On your face, you cling now. It's misery.
I actually think this is the best song on the album. It has energy, like, it sounds, I don't know, it doesn't really sound like Limp Bizkit, so maybe from that perspective it's a mistake, but I actually think it's the best song on the album.
I've lost my patience.
I wonder if this is like a Poppy leftover or something that they didn't use for her. Look, with all due respect, I'm sure he would agree, Fred Durst is just not a good vocalist. He just isn't. I think he's really intelligent. I think that he's charismatic. He's a good frontman, but his vocal ability is bad. I think they did the most they could with him, but this is an example of a song where it's not cutting it. Although it's the best song on the album, I would still maybe give it a 3 out of 10, just because we got to think about this in context. Like it said in the chat before, this is a nu metal comeback album. Is this what we want from a nu metal comeback album? And the answer is no, it is not. We don't want your Title Fight Nirvana impersonation. We want nu metal bangers. Uh-oh. Acoustic guitars. As soon as I hear acoustic guitars on a metal album, 9 times out of 10, I just skip it immediately. But because of you guys, I'll give it at least a few seconds to see if it gets good.
I see your demons. They've been reaching to you.
Okay, that's a 1 out of 10. I didn't even need to listen to more than 10 seconds of it. Nobody wants the fucking slow, boring acoustic song 3/4 through the album. Nobody wants it. Next up, we've got Pill Popper.
Our governments have fostered a culture of corruption in which special interests and big donors advance their interest at the expense of everyday people.
This song is like, Oxy is bad, opiates are bad, which is, it's true, they are bad. The reason I say that I can hear Zach Cervini all over this is because, like, these last few songs sound like Poppy songs. I mean, the artist Poppy, he did, I disagree. I don't know if he did more recent stuff, but, like, these almost sounds like Poppy songs that, like, she didn't use or something. This song is kind of cool, but not for Limp Bizkit and definitely not for Fred Durst.
Give me my medicine.
I like that he's trying different stuff vocally. I don't think he pulls it off, but I like that he tried it. All right, I think we've heard enough of that one. I'd give that one a 7 out of 10. 6 out of 10. It's not bad. One of the better songs. I don't hate it. Fred's doing the best he can. He's just he's a very, very limited vocalist. I'm sure he would agree with me on that. I mean that with all due respect. He's doing the best he can with the vocal ability he's got, which is just not much. This one is Snacky Poo, and we're almost done with the album, thank God. I love snacks.
The name is LB, I never hate to admit it. Taking out your suckers,
So
you
bad.
don't know how I did it. Chocolate on the starfish, everybody kiss it. I pray that you don't get it, and I ain't even religious. Everybody got a mic, chasing all they can to get another like.
The music sounds like the options menu in a Dreamcast game like Jet Grind Radio from 2001, which is cool in the context of the options menu for a Dreamcast game, but in the context of a Limp Bizkit album from 2021, I'm not feeling it.
A
little too dad rap. And this song is 4 minutes long.
Fantastic.
Oh, there's a skit at the end. Okay. Skits and intros like this, the zone of pain. And then, oh no, more acoustic guitars. Oh, no. Again, I actually don't think this is a bad song. Like, this sounds like a decent pop song. It's just not good for Limp Bizkit, and it's not good for Fred Durst. Like, if you gave this to, I don't know, like Justin Bieber or somebody with a better voice for pop, maybe it'd be better. But so far, this is not it.
All the secrets that you keep. Words don't this for myself.
All right, so that is Still Sucks by Limp Bizkit. I would say the first 3 songs are okay. Not great, but okay. Pill Popper and Barnacle, maybe decent at best, but a whole lot of filler. I think this album should have been an EP, like a 4 to 6 song EP with only the best stuff. That said, I do think that this is probably, you know, the best that we could reasonably expect from Limp Bizkit in 2021. I don't think it's bad. I just think that this is an example of a band that just sort of hit its creative limits, right? I mean, this is who they are. What else could they really have done? Could they have done like a whole album full of songs like the first 3? Yeah, maybe, but would that have been better? I don't know that it would have. I think really what we want from Limp Bizkit is just like 2 or 3 singles that really stand out. I think that's what we want. Like, if you go back and listen to their old stuff, I mean, they had lots of like boring filler songs on their old albums, but it's okay because we only remember the hits, remember the singles, which is fine. That's my take on this album. I'm not here to dunk on it. I don't actually think it's terrible. I think it's decent. My larger criticism is how much the rock world was freaking out about it. I got so many DMs about this, so many people asking me what I thought of it, and I'm not complaining about that because I'm flattered that people care, but it's concerning to me that in 2021, so much of the attention is still focused on legacy nu metal bands. Like, this is not good for rock. Think about rap. Like, what was popular in rap in 2001? Like, I can't even remember. Like, Nelly or something? Are people in rap fixated on 2001? No, not even country. Like every other genre, they have moved on. But in rock, it's still the same old fucking artists dominating the headlines. And I don't blame Fred Durst for that. I don't blame Limp Bizkit for that. Good for them. Like, I'm happy that people care. But it is disappointing to me that rock fans care so much about this stuff in 2021. And it's also just, it's crazy. What a time to be alive that Limp Bizkit is now like a respected band that people are excited about. You go back to 2001, there is no more hated band than Limp Bizkit, period. And yet for some reason, you know, I guess, well, I do know why. It's because all the people who loved them when they were 12 are now adults, and rock fans are older. So these are the people who now represent sort of the voice of the rock community, and we all love what we listened to when we were 12, and so that explains it. But for anybody who doubts me, when I say that MGK and Jaden and Lil Huddy are going to be considered real music in 15 years, the fact that Limp Bizkit has as much currency as they do now is proof that I am right. Mark my words, it's gonna happen. So if you're smart, start now. Start gatekeeping MGK and Lil Huddy now. Go rent a car right now, like a fucking yellow Camaro or some other cool Chad car like that. Go to the nearest metal show, find some kids wearing Cannibal Corpse and like roll down your window and scream, "Listen to some real music, you posers," and then blast MGK while you peel out. You'll be ahead of the curve, just like everybody who loved Limp Bizkit in 2001. Those are my thoughts. It's not terrible. I think it's decent. It's better than I was expecting it to be. I'm more disappointed in the rock community for caring so much about Limp Bizkit in 2021 than I am in this album itself.